Oh, he has 56 singles that sold over 1 million copies, 56 gold records now, and 16 albums that sold over 1 million copies. Well, 18 albums with the two over here. 56 singles and 18 albums, gold records.
And what was it like for Elvis in those first days? He was kind of different from the rest of the guys, wasn't he?
Well, in some ways, some of the clothes he wore was different. The way he wore his hair was quite different to what there was back then, you know. And he was criticized quite often about it, but it really didn't bother him. He didn't change it. He went on like he was anyway.
What was that story you told me about, you know, when he first decided to go into show business? Did you have any inkling?
No, he called me into his room one day there, I believe it was shortly after he got out of high school, and he said, "I want to be an entertainer." And I said, "Well, you know, I don't know much about that sort of thing, but you deal with quite a few people in the business." I said, "Why don't you talk to some of them and see what you got to do to get into it, you know?" At that time, he was more interested in the gospel singing, the quartet singing, you know. So he tried for 2 or 3 different of the young groups to get in with them, and they was either full or they didn't think he could sing good enough or something. I don't know what happened. Then after he made this record, quite a few of the quartet groups wanted him then, and so he talked to me about it again, you know. He said, "What would you do?" He said, "I can get into the quartet singing now in the gospel field." And of course my reaction was,
what did you have to do during those shows?
Well, they learned that you had to have plenty of security, you know, to keep the people back. Otherwise he couldn't perform. He couldn't put on a show. They'd rush the stage before he got through. And one place he told me about where he was appearing, he sung part of one song and had to leave the stage and didn't go back because they tore the stage all to pieces.
What is the thing he likes to do?
Well, I think the main thing that he really wants to do when he's on stage is to please the audience, you know. If he don't feel that he has, he gets kind of upset about it. I think that's his main ambition in life is when he's, on stage is to please his audience, you know, make them happy.
What's he like before he goes on stage?
Well, he does a number of songs that I like very much. I think that trilogy, American trilogy, that he's been doing on tour is one of the greatest things that he's done, you know, really. It seems to hit me more than anything he's done recently.
He's kind of unusual as a performer, too, because he doesn't...
Yeah. We call this the trophy room, where we keep all of Elvis's plaques, trophies, awards, what have you. Citations that he has gotten through the years. For instance, here on this wall we have gold records, 56 singles, and 18 albums that sold over 1 million copies.